Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to GameStar TV for the HEYPAL Summer 17. If you have just joined us, we are giving away some skins thanks to Hi-Res, so exclamation mark HEYPAL if you have not already done so. My name is Kit Fox, I'm your host, Crisis is your producer, I hold Shift and Aggro are your casters, but like I just mentioned, we are giving away that skin, so exclamation mark HEYPAL for your chance to choose from Onslaught Fernando, Black Ice Eevee, or Snapdragon Ying. So we're going to get our producer, and of course, you have to be following GameStar to be eligible. That is just above the top right-hand corner of the broadcast there. There's a little love heart. Click that, and we will love you back. So our producer is going to close the raffle, and it looks as though we have got ourselves a winner, and it is Zevenator. So congratulations to Zevenator for getting yourself a skin. Message us after the stream, but right now I'm going to handball you over back to I Hold Shift and Aggro Tank because we're going to the fish market as Benevolent take on Corvidae.
I have to say, that Black Ice Eevee skin is probably one of my favorite in games. If you're not getting into these giveaways, there might be something wrong with you. That's all I'm going to say. Round 3 it is out of 5, though, as we dig into game. Benevolent, the newcomers to the scene, will be facing up against Corvidae, who, as of recently, have found some traction on the ground competitively. A team that did not really have much going for them as they were digging into the HRX qualifiers at Eevee's Winter Classic, have found a number of wins, a couple of great ones against Surge, and one, in fact, against Redo Esports Club. They'll get their first chance against the newcomers here on Fish Market. And as far as expectations go for yourself, Aggro, what are you looking at for both of these teams as far as what they've come to the table with previously or could possibly surprise us with as we look at the newcomers?
I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see. We actually haven't seen Benevolent before, so it's going to be interesting to see what they bring to the table. From speaking with Horatio, their captain, earlier, he did comment that they are quite new to Paladins. So who knows? They may just be naturals and maybe amazing. They may blow our socks off right now. But Corvidae have been fighting hard this entire tournament, and they're coming in low, but the boys are practicing hard and they're coming back hard. They've got a vengeance and they want to get some more points on that board.
They have been flexing just a little bit, again, finding themselves some decent wins. They were sitting near the bottom, like we had mentioned before, and they're finding themselves right in the middle of the region at the moment with a chance to really surprise and come back through and really establish themselves as potentially being a top 3 team in the region, as Kings has kind of slipped a couple of games back and forth. But as we dig in, again, it will be Fish Market. And again, Corvidae, they will be looking to come back through with possibly finding themselves another win. And as you mentioned, Benevolent is the newcomers. This, pardon me, this is their second in the competitive play. Their first round happening just previously was against Kings. They fell 4-0 on the Timber Mill. So we'll see if they can find some more luck on the more pescatarian-friendly water levels of Fish Market. And as we take a look, it looks like we're just waiting for them to get on into game. And this is going to be interesting to see what all-stars come to play here. We saw a couple of star-studded picks in both the Knessa and the Bomb King, which was just a compositional thing. I think here we're probably going to take a look at who could possibly, as an individual, really show up and bring their name into the star-studded green light of the Oceanic region. It will be Team Benevolent giving the first overall pick on this one. And again, we've seen Makoa be preferenced by a lot of teams, and really no better map, I was going to say, than with all the environmental hazard. Makoa brings that really affected into the gameplay. But again, Torvald actually hovered over initially, and then with that Hyper Beam, it could be very, very dangerous. As just about every part of the map has some kind of a lane of sight when it comes to possibly ending up in the drink.
That's exactly it, and we've seen them lock it in as well. Now we're seeing the Corvidae boys pick up Makoa and possibly getting a Fernando here as well.
Yeah, and I actually really enjoy this. Again, if Torvald's going to be out there by himself, you might as well give him something to look at, and nothing better than the two big bodies in Makoa and Fernando. However, that could play out to his advantage, considering that recharge, stealing some shield, might be able to keep him rather healthy. And interestingly enough, it will be a Grover to help sustain that actual health pool. And we're going to see some competitive Tyra, who does very well again with that Firebomb, applying a 50% reduced healing, but also a maximum percentage per tick based on their maximum HP. That's going to possibly absolutely destroy those more centralized tanks if they continue to sit themselves up on point. So I actually really enjoy the Tyra pick. as that could possibly be a nice counter to those big frontliners. But it will be Shaolin, and again, the big flanking force of the Winter Witch of Eevee for Corvidae. And the response looks like there might possibly be a victor picked up. And what would you think here for a possible last pick? I mean, so far, everything is direct damage based for Team Benevolent. Looks like it could possibly be the Drogos.
Looks like they answered the point by giving us the Drogos there as well. So I'm actually really happy to see a Tyra getting picked, because Tyra is one of my favorites to play in casual, because I don't play competitive because I'm a scrub. But we never see Tyra in competitive. We don't see her come out. Like you said, it's not something that's picked. So it's going to be interesting to see. And let's see if they can capitalize on it.
Yeah, and I'm going to be excited to see how they decide to position that character. Again, Tyro having no actual mobility skill, along with Torvald, actually, two of the more stationary characters as far as how fast they can maneuver around the map. Should be interesting to see how that positioning works out. But interestingly enough, it will be a Ying coming out. So again, it looks like Corvidae is fine with trying to set up at least some kind of a station with those illusions plus the Fernando Makoa as they look to possibly gain control of the map as they move around. So it's interesting drafts. If you were to lean this drafting-wise for one team or the other, I'd hate to put you on the spot, but who do you got so far, Aggro?
No, looking just from the draft itself, I am going to have to say I'm expecting a win from Corvidae here. But like I said, I'm hopeful for the newcomers. It's a good pick there. I do like what they've gone with as well. We'll see how it plays out for them.
I would agree with you as well. Again, the big bodies of Fernando Makoa are just so devastating. A lot of players do not like to let both of those go. But again, Drogos has made himself a very formidable opponent to frontliners simply because not only do his direct shots do massive amounts of damage to shield, but now that we also have Fire Spit plus Salvo, you can charge that ultimate up very, very quickly with the right build-outs if you can get those cooldowns on both of those aforementioned abilities very quickly. So we'll have to see how that decides to go through as the teams are switching up and looking at who's going to be playing what. It will be Team Benevolent rocking the blue trunks, left side perspectively on the scoreboard, and Drogos, Tyra, Grover, Victor, and Torvald will be played by... looks like Cyriko will be playing Tyra as things switch back up on me. Ulramite will be playing Grover. Aztecs will be playing Victor. Ace of Skulls on Torvald. And Horatio will be playing Drogos. And for Corvidae, Aggro.
Yeah, on Corvidae, we've got Matty playing Shaolin. We've got Ishtez on Eevee. We've got Carlstar on Makoa. Disabay bringing out the Ying. And Arkaram bringing up Fernando.
Indeed, and we'll have to take a look to see if Wrecker is prioritized. Interesting, Tyra decided to go for Wrecker immediately, which is not the skill, the itemization I think I would pick when you have a Drogos on the squad, but again, that's not exactly the worst thing in the world, as again, Firebomb will automatically apply Cauterize, so kind of a double threat at the moment is the Tyra. Grover opted to go for Chronos first, which is one of my picks. I think that would be very successful with Wrecker. We'll see what everyone else decides to choose as they get in the game and start moving their way forward. Again, Fish Market is the environment and the locale for this bloody battle. And Corvidae looking to take out the, again, newcomers and Benevolent. We're trying to establish themselves. And very early on, Benevolent actually opted to go market side and kind of try to zone things out and establish themselves as a flank. And it allows Corvidae again to set up on the point. You can see that Firebomb doing so much damage. And Tyra actually able to get first blood as well. Drogos coming right on top. And again, Eevee is so not good against Drogos as the ice blockage is so easy to focus with those massive rockets. And Tyra now getting aggressive. Fernando falling low, but still the kill streak popping up a little bit red as everyone's getting very low on HP. Shaolin is still right there, able to find a double kill as Matt say on the Tyra. Make that a triple kill as Grover falls as well. And somehow, some way, Corvidae is able to hold on with those low health pools, and Makoa back in the fore of things, able to get things up to above 60%. Corvidae currently on top.
Yeah, we saw the newcomers Benevolent there put out the damage, but they just could not capitalize and get those kills rating through. They did come very close, and they did have a good push, but unfortunately Corvidae surged back hard and get them back. So we're going to see them pushing back in now. We've got Torvald on point. Let's see if he can capitalize. He is down already, but there was a trade there with both tanks going down, with Fernando and Torvald both getting taken out.
Yeah, the kill feed still actually opting up to be favoring Team Benevolent. Again, 99% was the full capture, and Eevee's going to be blinking in and out with a little bit of poke happening again from the Victor trying to get back onto point for Team Benevolent. Evie not really able to do much by herself, will back up for Corvidae, allowing Benevolent to get some capture percentage stacked up. And again, this is a very dangerous position for Corvidae, again, with Victor able to get long lines of sight and kind of just poke with a sustained damage. But also, again, you can see Horatio getting a mid kill again onto the Fernando. Huge pick with the Dragon Punch is so dangerous because he can put out so much damage so quickly. And as we get to above 90%, kills are going back and forth. That Drogo has been taken off the board, but now Rover coming into play as those axes can do so much. But Noah's, it will be Makoa pulling him into the fray and taking him out, eliminating him. And again, Ying finding more in an ice block to neutralize out the potential Hyper Beam. So Torvald not able to set anyone on Torvald Airlines. It will be Corvidae finding that first point of the game. 1-0. 3 minutes in, though, a long capture point for our first battle between Benevolent and Corvidae.
Yeah, it was definitely quite a drawn-out cap there, but Corvidae have managed to secure that by pushing the Benevolent boys back. But let's see if Benevolent can keep that payload from getting further forward.
Attackers on my trail.
Heat Haze is an option for the Shaolin. But out again, focusing on the Drogos. Drogos does fall very quickly. Again, we need to find Drogos in a better position than that if they want to find damage onto this big front line for Corvidae. And now it's a full-on backpedal for Benevolent as Torvald, again, so bad in that situation because he's got no mobility whatsoever. He's going to have to result on his team. But again, you can see that his charge for his ultimate comes up so very quickly just by doing damage. And he does fall, and things still moving very much so in the favor of Corvidae as all 5 players are right here, right at the payload. Still just a little bit under a minute 30, and no one's actually, Horatio denied the Dragon Punch mid-air, channeled it right in the open as if to open the curtains and say it's showtime, but nobody paid tickets for that show, and everyone says, let's just take this out really quickly. A very quick payload push, surprisingly for Corvidae, as they go up 2-0.
Yeah, certainly. Corvidae were definitely just keeping the pressure on that payload. They kept it moving. They weren't allowing Benevolent to stop them. And like we saw, they had Benevolent backpedaling there, and they just surged that point home.
Point spawning.
Indeed the case, and again, with the recent change over the last couple patches, with successive objective conversions, you do get bonus credits. You can no longer get that as defensive. So as you can see, a lot of credits being invested on the side of Corvidae would give them a very big advantage as they go into the second overall point, as they search for that third overall point and score for themselves. And that's going to result in a lot of opportunity, as again, you can see the streaks very high for Corvidae. A lot of ultimates on board for both teams, 3 for each. It's going to come down to who can really execute and find the biggest equity out of those ultimates. It will be Corvidae opting to get right on the point immediately. Fernando are actually going to shut down the flank, but it will be a barrage to kind of help again. Try to get some damage in for Team Benevolent. Not a lot really converted. But Evie right in the face as Victor, but not able to find the last ice staff shot. Will make Victor get the kill, and the Tyre coming in again. The carbines and the assault rifles showing some power with the grenades as well. A lot of damage, and it will be Team Benevolent coming out on top and finding the 5-man team wipe and looking to get this capture point back to even as they stare down a 42%, now going above 42% for Team Benevolent. Things moving very nicely for the team in blue.
Yeah, I'll admit, I actually wasn't seeing that coming. Like, we were watching them try and search around the flanks. They had 4 team members going around, and Corvidae saw that coming and was stopping them, but they managed to pull it through, and they got that cap point going. They've got to 89% now, so let's see if they can get it back up.
Corvidae opted to use the Illusionary Rift. You see the red orbs on your screen. That's Ying's ultimate, which will heal everybody up who are nearby, which will allow Corvidae again to get back in this. But again, really, this is the better positioning that we're looking for out of the Drogos player, able to find long lines of sight on the Salvo, plus the Dragon Spitfires as well, which will combine for just tons of damage. You can see how chewy those health pools are for Corvidae, but it's not keeping them away as the shields are on point, and nobody from Team Benevolent is able to continue to contest as Torvald not really there. He does have a Hyper Beam available, but was not using it to disengage Corvidae from the point, will allow for a 3-0 lead for Corvidae. A missed opportunity right there for Team Benevolent.
No, definitely, and Corvidae are surging back hard, and like I expected, they are trying to monopolize this game, but we're seeing a lot from Benevolent boys, and I'm really interested to see them surge back, and I want to see them get a cap down.
Yeah, the biggest thing that I'm noticing so far, Aggro, is simply just not a lot of real conversion. Oh my goodness! There is finally a full push-off with the hook on the Makoa, able to find the dragon in midair, takes him with him, says, not so fast, get over here. So a 1-for-1 wipe. But getting back to the point, there just has not been a lot of combination in the forefront of getting the Drogos plus a Victor to find the damage. But on top of that, the Torvald really hasn't had the room to breathe, as I think he more likely would need to be successful, although he is finding a lot of shield steal from the Fernando right there. And now finally, the Victor Tyra, the Eastern European combination, able to find a lot of damage put in. And this is the kind of team synergy that Benevolent needs to continue to communicate and keep up if they want to keep Corvidae at least more on the back foot to try to get back into this game.
Yeah, watching him now, we're seeing Arkham push him back, but there's a Fernando going down. They're going to surge back. Torvald's going to hold the point now, see if he can push that back by himself. Ara's pushing back up. Let's see if she can get the fire grenades to get that damage happening. She's trying to check out that fire.
We do have the Hyper Beam line as well, which could be very good at disengaging and obviously getting that environmental hazard into play as we get to 45 seconds on the clock until overtime hits. It'll be interesting to see how they try to get this around. It's a very long distance, but no Drogos again.
And we're seeing that Hyper Beam come out.
There's the Hyper Beam! Oh, it finds itself 3! And that's again the power of the Hyper Beam right next to the docks, and Yiga's saying, where'd everybody go? Able to get right back out, but again, that's the power of Hyper Beam. And I was just about to criticize the Drogos for getting way too forward, but Torvald says, that's alright, old buddy, I'll send some people out to the graves with you as 3 go flying.
Yeah, I was looking at that corner, I was looking at Torvald hanging back around the corner, just going, this is a great spot for them to try and use the Hyper Beam, and they capitalized on it, and they got the 3 kills, so well done to them for that.
Without doubt, overtime will be in effect as the clock expires. A lot of kills coming back in the way of Corvidae, and they need to find their composure here because it is still very possible with the right amount of gameplay and the right amount of trying to get this team Benevolent on the back foot and get them to stagger their death timers. This very could possibly still lead to a 4-0 and a final push conversion. So if you're Benevolent, you need to make sure that you're not getting too excited about what just happened and get yourself rephrased and get yourself in the frame of mind that this is still a very live game. And anything can happen as we see the payload is coming downhill now, making its final stretch, and it's not a good situation as the Drogos falls plus the Grover. Batsy able to find 2, looking for a 3rd. It will be Fernando finalizing that kill on Torvald. The Barrage is using desperation, but nobody's on the point, and that's exactly the situation you cannot let happen if you're Benevolent, is letting Corvidae get that death bull thrown up with that double front line, and that's how dangerous it is, as it very quickly moved from overtime all the way up and down the hill like a very quick roller coaster ride, and Corvidae takes it at a scoreline of 4-0. Looking over at what we have on these, again, we see the eliminations still favor the side of Corvidae, not very heavily, but still significantly in some fashion, as again, those scorelines do kind of reflect how the game went in some fashion. The interesting thing is the damage numbers. Again, this is the interesting conversation point as Tyra gets a little bit more love with the help and the support of a Torvald protection shield. She becomes that much more viable. 71,500 damage is a lot, especially when you're considering how much work that firebomb did to those big frontliners of both the Makoa and Fernando aggro.
No, definitely. We've seen those tanks came in very handy there for them, but I'm going to say, I called this at the start, and I was very happy to see Tyra in. Seeing Tyra with the most damage there, that makes me pretty happy.
Without a doubt, getting that more of that auto attack damage. But if you're looking for an MVP, who are you looking at as far as this screen goes so far?
I'm a little torn right now. I kind of want to go 12 off that amazing ult where we took 3 people out, but I don't know. I feel I need to give it someone from Disobey because they had an amazing play. And personally, myself, I want to give it towards Matty. Just watching those amazing shots come out. 23 kills isn't too bad there, but he just had 53k damage is decent, but I was seeing some amazing plays and helping just shut down Benevolent there.
Yeah, you actually picked the same that I was looking at. Matsy on the Shaolin, again, with the highest amount of eliminations on the server, going 23-6. 3 of those actually being solo kills on a 6 total streak. Will be the MVP from this game. Congratulations to Matsy as again gets thrown into that pool for potentially winning the MVP star-studded prize at the end. But Kid Fox, that's not all we have. As again, if you're watching in chat, you will be opting for the possibility of winning extra giveaways from Hi-Rez as far as skins go. Let us know more about that, would you?
Absolutely. So if you have just joined us, ladies and gentlemen, we are giving away skins thanks to Hi-Rez. And there you have your choice of 3 tonight. So to enter and get your choice of Onslaught Fernando, Black Ice Eevee, or Snapdragon Ying, you need to type !HEYPAL into the Twitch chat if you haven't done so already. And if you have been with us and watching this whole cast the whole time, you need to make sure that you re-enter after every single draw, because we do reset the raffle after each skin. So at the end, well, actually, when we come back from the break, rather, we are going to be drawing the skin. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back right after this.